What's going on, YouTube? Today we taking it back to the basics. We talking about guards.
What's dope as a nigga in flight mode? Hey, we can take
Okay, so when it comes to the guards we are looking at today, I have the Black Ice Pro Premium set right here, the clip-ons, and they range from a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 5, a 6, a 7, and an 8. And that's typical in most guard sets. So we're going to set them out real quick and do a little bit more explaining. We also have what's known as specialty guards, and those guards are typically purchased separate. You might also hear them called blending guards. Normally they don't come in the guard set, but if you buy like clippers, sometimes you get them already packaged with the clipper guards. So now that we have them all laid out, we're going to go and explain them one by one. So first off, you have your 8 guard. It's 1 inch in length. It's typically used for longer looks and to prepare you before you want to use your shears, kind of give you texturizing and a shape. You also have your 7 guard, which is 7/8 of an inch, and it pretty much does the same thing. I very seldomly use these top 2 guards, but they're there for safe haven. Here you have your 5 and your 6 guards. That's 5/8 of an inch, your 5 guard, and 3/4 of an inch, your 6 guards. These are for the layered, textured looks where, it's not too long, not too short. Here you have your 4 guard, which is a 1/2 inch, medium length, evenly trimmed, still providing volume. You have your 3 guard, which is 3/8 of an inch. This is for cleaning up the sides, blending the sides, just creating a low, clean, neat cut. Now you have your 2 guard, which is 1/4 of an inch. You can use that for a low buzz cut or a wavers cut on top. You have your 1 guard, which is 1/8 of an inch, and this is for your tight fades, your low cuts that almost look bald, but also for blending as well. Now, if you're a beginner, or even if you're cutting somebody for the first time, I would advise starting with a higher guard and letting the client guide you to the proper length on top. Because once that hair is gone, it's gone, baby. Now, I mentioned earlier about the specialty / blending guards, and here in my hand, I have one. This is the 1.5 guard. It's 5/16 of an inch, and like I said, to be purchased separately. You also have the 1/2 guard, which is also known as the 16th guard, which is a 16th of an inch, and these are your blending guards. Well, I mainly use the 1/2 guard to connect me from my 1 to my 0. My 1.5 guard, I use that when I want to establish wavelength on top. So now that we explained that, let's talk about knowing which guards to use in the fading process after you establish your length on top. So let's say I have a 2 and I have a 2 on top. I would use my 2, my 1 and below, and the 3, 4, 5 and up pretty much are non-existent for this haircut. So you start at the guard and you keep everything under it, get rid of everything on top. So we're gonna try it out, a little quiz. So let's say we're starting out with let's say we're starting out with a 6 on top. Can you tell me which guards we would use and which guards we would put to the side? If you pick 7 and 8 as the guards we put to the side, you're right. Now we may not even use the 5 or the 4 or the 3, but it's just a matter of anything below has the ability to still take off hair. Anything higher would not be doing anything. So let's try it again. Let's say our length on top is a 1. Which guards would we be putting to the side for this haircut, and which guards would we be utilizing for this haircut? If you said that we're getting rid of the 2 on up, you're absolutely correct. And we will be utilizing our 1 and our half guard. Remember, our half guard is a specialty / blending guard. It's going to connect us from that lever open to that 1. That was pretty easy. I think y'all doing pretty good. So let's try it again. Gonna make it a little bit more challenging. Now let's say your length on top is a 3. What guards are we getting rid of and what guards are we keeping for this haircut? Hold on, let me set it back up. It's gonna take me a while, so I'm giving y'all time to process and think and pick your answer. Alright, so the length on top is a 3. Hey, you can do it. I believe in you. Let's go. Do. You got your answer? So, our length on top is a 3. We're getting rid of our 4 on up. And we're keeping our 3, our 2, our 1, and our half guard for this haircut. Pretty simple once you see everything right in front of you, right? Now, something else you should understand about using guards is during the blending process. If I have a 7 on top, that doesn't automatically mean I'm gonna need my 5 and my 6 to blend. It depends on the type of haircut and hairstyle the client is going for. I may not use it. As you get more advanced, you can interchange the higher guards out for the clipper over comb method or the shears. But you always want to know what the length looks like. And so just understand that the hairstyle makes a difference also. You're not always going to need the higher guards for every haircut. Now, I want to explain to you wavelengths. This is for the wavers. When it comes to a waver, I have my 1.5 guard. That's my length on top. My 1 and my half guard are going to be used to blend. Also, our 1 guard with the lever open is equivalent to our 1.5 guard. So if you don't have that specialty guard, just use your 1 guard with the lever open, and it's the same thing, or at least it's considered the same thing. In my opinion, it takes it just a tad bit lower, but again, it depends on your client, where your client wants their hair to be on top. Sometimes the 1.5 guard is still too much for them, so allow them to guide you to the proper length. And by the way, this is open, so anytime you put a guard on there, the length will actually be increased because you're taking off less hair. Open leaves more hair. Close takes more off. So that's going to be your 1. That's going to be your 1.5. Again, once you start using these guards on a consistent basis, you'll be able to understand more about the lengths and what they actually do, and when you should use them, and overall how the guard system works. Now again, your half guard and your 1.5 guard are purchased separate most of the time. You can get away with not even purchasing the 1.5 guard, being that the 1 guard open can do about the same thing. At that point, it's just preference. Like I said, maybe a little bit longer, but that half guard, you're gonna need that. So if your guards don't come with a half guard, I would go out and definitely purchase one. Now, another thing to understand about guards is that when you go against the grain, and this is more so the clipper, but when you go against the grain with a certain guard, it's actually cutting it shorter. So anyhow I may have my 1 guard on, if I go against the grain, I'm essentially cutting a true half. If I were to want a 1 guard, a true 1, I will open my lever up or put my 1.5 guard on and go against the grain, and that will give me a true 1. So anytime you have a guard on there, if you are to want, let's say if you want a true 2, you go up a guard or open and you cut against the grain, because against the grain it's going to lift those hairs up and it's going to give you the precise measurement that you're looking for. It's going to be more of an even cut. Let's do one more scenario. Client comes in with a curly afro, says, I want to keep my curls, I want a full on top. What are we keeping? What are we getting rid of? 4, 3, 2, 1. And our half guard, man. I think you got it from here. I think it's just a matter of being confident with the clippers in your hand, knowing what hairstyle you're about to do, and finessing, getting that client right, baby. Because that's what we doing. That's what we're in business to do.
Chop or die, baby.
On my soul. Hey, look. If you have any suggestions, anything you want me to cover as far as topics, man, leave a comment below. Let me know how you like the content. Hey, this gonna be it for today. I see y'all next time.